In the crown and bridge clinical situation, a temporary bridge will be fabricated from a diagnostic wax-up. An alginate impression is taken to register the details of the diagnostic wax-up, and this is poured up in Velmic stone. This replica then is blocked out in the area of the pontic with a block-out wax. This is placed on the OmniVac machine, and a piece of plastic wafer is placed in the upper portion of the machine and locked firmly in place. Heater is turned on, and this is left for about 5 minutes. When the plastic extends about 1.5 inches, then the heating unit is turned to the side, and the plastic wafer is pulled down over the model, and the vacuum turned on. The plastic wafer material then is removed from the replica and trimmed. This is the point at which you will start the project. These plastic wafers, preformed, will be available to you in the sophomore clinic. These are trimmed carefully back to the crown form. They're tried on the model, and any excess plastic is retrimmed. A window is trimmed in the bicuspid, and you'll note there's a 1mm to a 2mm extension of the plastic material. You'll note also that there has been a slight extension on the first bicuspid to act as a stop. The plastic wafer is then removed, and the plastic teeth that are a patient's replica are lubricated. This is very important because the duralay, when it polymerizes, can combine with the plastic of the plastic teeth. So this is very carefully lubricated with duralay lubricant down the grooves, over the entire ridge, and the anterior teeth, wherever areas that the plastic might flash. Pink baseplate wax has been used to seal the cervical around these teeth so that the liquid plastic does not run down this root area. The distal of the first bi has also been blocked out. A thin mix of duralay is made, and all the bubbles are released, and this is very carefully flowed into the occlusal details. The advantage of using a thin mix is that it flows into the occlusal details rather readily. It's important to wait until the entire gloss is lost from the duralay. If this is placed on too soon, it'll stick to the plastic. This is placed over the model, but we've noticed at this time that there's a small bubble. If you see a bubble, as you see here, then you use your plastic instrument to fill the bubble in with the duralay. This is then placed over the lubricated model, seated down to its proper position, and then you have the patient close on this to drive this down to the proper level. Squeeze on the buccal and lingual of the pontic because this tends to extend outward, and then with the plastic instrument we can carefully tease away any flash and adapt margins, like on the mesial of the first bicuspid. The bridge is very carefully teased on and off while the plastic is setting or polymerizing. Seated, and you have the patient close again. When the acrylic reaches a rubbery consistency, then the bridge should be removed, and the plastic patient teeth should be relubricated with duralay lubricant so that the acrylic will not adhere to the plastic model. The patient then closes, and this is allowed to polymerize. When the acrylic is hardened, then the shell of the Omnivac plastic is removed and the bridge is inspected to see if there are no bubbles and all the details are evident in the temporary plastic bridge. A heatless stone is used to trim away the rough flash and to contour the pontic. The pontic should be formed into a sanitary pontic, just as the permanent fixed bridge will have. The sanitary pontic should follow the contour of the ridge and have a millimeter of space under it. The Joe Dandy disc then is placed in the straight handpiece, and this is used to contour the interdental space or embrasure area of the pontic. This connector is formed so that there will be room for the soft tissue. Then a rubber wheel is used to rough polish the bridge. Should you expose some bubbles in polishing, these can be repaired by taking small amounts of Duralay on a brush and filling the voids with this self-curing acrylic. Then this can be repolished. The bridge is polished with pumice and a rag wheel. You'll notice that we protect the margins with our finger so that these margins are not polished away. A high luster is important so that this temporary bridge can be readily cleansed. After polishing, the pumice is removed and the bridge inspected. The plastic teeth are lubricated with Vaseline in this clinical lab situation in order that the temporary cement will not adhere to the plastic teeth. This is not done in the clinical situation. A zinc oxide eugenol temporary cement then is mixed and placed in the crowns. And when a thin layer has been placed in the crowns, this is then placed on the model. The patient then closes their mouth and drives the bridge to the proper position, which will be slightly higher than when the bridge was made because the Omnivac template has been removed. This distance now will be taken up by the temporary cement. The excess temporary cement has been removed. This is very important that it is removed from the crevice because this will act as an irritant to the soft tissue. The contours are checked. Next, the occlusion is checked. And if any adjustments are to be made, they are made at this time. If everything is correct, then this bridge will hold the abutment teeth comfortably until